Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, let's just jump right into this, because today we are looking at an absolutely massive breakthrough in the world of robotics and artificial intelligence. We're talking about a brand new model called RotVLA, and it is pretty much completely changing the game when it comes to teaching robots how to move. Now, if you've been following the AI space even a little bit, you know our software is getting incredibly smart. But our physical robots? Well, they've honestly been lagging way behind. They're stuck in the past. So today, we're going to completely unpack the cutting-edge research that is finally giving robots human-like fluidity. We're going to parse this sentence by sentence, look at the underlying mechanics, and really figure out why this is such a big deal.
So let's start with the big elephant in the room here. Why do AI-powered robots still move so clunkily? It's a paradox, right? We have large language models right now that can write beautiful poetry, pass the bar exam, and literally instantly generate incredibly complex computer code. Yet when you look at a multi-million-dollar humanoid robot trying to do something as simple as, I don't know, pick up a coffee cup or fold a t-shirt, it often looks rigid, awkward, and painfully slow. We've all seen those viral videos. It twitches, it pauses, it jerks around like it's lagging. So why is there such a massive disconnect between the brain of the AI, which is brilliant, and the body of the robot, which looks like it's struggling to function? Well, the answer entirely lies in how we've been translating digital thoughts into physical actions. We've been speaking the wrong physical language.
Here is our roadmap for today's explainer. First, we'll cover the robot action problem. Second, the power of continuous rotation. Third, the Triplet Learning Framework. Fourth, translating humans to robots. And finally, real-world robotic success.
Let's dive right into part one, the robot action problem. To really understand this, we have to look at how modern AI was built. It was built on language. Large language models process text by breaking it down into what we call discrete tokens. You can think of them as individual words or puzzle pieces or syllables. It makes perfect sense for text, right? A sentence is just a sequence of separate, discrete words. So when researchers started building vision language action models for robots, they basically said, hey, let's just do the exact same thing with physical movement. They chopped physical movement up into discrete tokens. But here's the problem. Physical space doesn't work like a written sentence. When you try to chop a fluid continuous motion into rigid, discrete steps, you basically get the real-world equivalent of stop-motion animation. It's rigid, it's jerky, and honestly, it's incredibly prone to failing if the environment changes even slightly. If a cup is shifted half an inch, the whole sequence breaks. The new approach we're looking at today, continuous rotational AI, completely abandons those rigid buckets. It treats movement as fluid, physics-based, and inherently continuous. Let's look a little deeper at these older traditional models, Latent Action Models, or LAMs. The core issue is that they use something called discrete quantization. So imagine you want a robot arm to move diagonally across a table. Instead of just swooping diagonally in one smooth arc, the AI is forced to sort its intended movement into predefined action buckets. It's like, okay, move right 1 inch, stop. Now move forward 1 inch, stop. Because it's forced to think in this blocky way, the AI often degenerates into what researchers call trivial frame reconstruction. What does that actually mean? Well, it means the AI takes a massive shortcut. Instead of learning how the robotic arm physically moved through 3D space, it just memorizes what the final picture is supposed to look like, and then it blindly tries to jump there. It's like a kid tracing a drawing instead of actually learning how to draw. The AI doesn't know what depth is, it doesn't know what gravity or momentum are, it just knows what the pixels on its camera feed should eventually look like. So its internal representation of the world has absolutely zero actual physical meaning or scale. It's just endlessly guessing the next static image. And that is a terrible way to control a physical machine.
Moving on to part two, the power of continuous rotation.
This brings us to the core innovation of RotVLA, Rotational Latent Action. The researchers working on this basically had a eureka moment. They decided to map the AI's intended physical actions onto an n-dimensional rotation group. In mathematics, this is known as the SON group. Now I know, don't let the complex math jargon scare you off here. Simply put, instead of teaching the AI to move in those rigid, discrete line segments we just talked about, they are teaching it the fluid, continuous math of actual real-world physics. Think about the difference between walking up a heavily pixelated, blocky staircase versus sliding up a perfectly smooth ramp. The SON math group naturally aligns with the continuous, sweeping, rotational nature of how joints and objects actually move in our physical universe. They are finally giving the AI a language that matches the physical reality of the robot's body.
So why is this SON math group such a game changer? The absolute crucial point is this. Because they're using this continuous rotational math, the AI can link different actions together flawlessly. In this math group, if you want to combine two movements, you simply use matrix multiplication. And the beautiful thing is, mathematically, that works exactly like real-world action composition. Let's use an analogy. Think about throwing a baseball. You don't consciously step, completely pause, turn your hips, pause again, and then swing your arm. No, it's one incredibly fluid, composed action where all the forces blend into each other. By representing these latent actions as continuous rotations, the AI can smoothly rotate through point B to get to point C, without ever having to stop, reset, and recalibrate its motors. It just flows. It fundamentally, from the ground up, changes how the digital brain of the robot perceives physical space.
Let's look at part 3, the Triplet Learning Framework. Okay, so having this fluid math is great, but how do you actually teach the AI to use it without cheating? This is where their brilliant Triplet Learning Framework comes in. Older models would just look at 2 frames of a video and try to guess what happened in between. But the researchers here force the AI to look at 3 frames. It's a simple but incredibly rigorous 1-2-3-step process. Step 1, the AI has to learn the physical transition from frame A to frame B. Step 2, it has to learn the transition from frame B to frame C. But here is the absolute kicker. Step 3, it has to mathematically compose the action from A to B with the action from B to C to successfully predict the final state in frame C. You see what they're doing there? They are forcing the AI to understand the momentum, the velocity, and the arc of the movement over time. As the researchers explicitly state in the paper, and this is a really important quote, this objective encourages the encoder to capture frame-to-frame dynamics rather than relying on direct reconstruction shortcuts. Triplet learning completely prevents the AI from acting like a dumb photocopying machine. Think about it. If the AI just memorized what frame B looked like those older models do, it would completely fail step 3. Why? Because it wouldn't understand the underlying physics and momentum required to actually carry through to frame C. The AI is literally penalized mathematically during its training phase unless it genuinely learns the physics of the movement. It's a brilliantly elegant way to enforce true physical comprehension inside a digital mind. So we've talked about the math and the training. What is the actual engine under the hood driving all of this? You might expect this to be some massively bloated software, but the RotVLA architecture is surprisingly efficient. It runs on only 1.7 billion parameters. To put that scale into perspective, some of the large language models you interact with every day on the internet have hundreds of billions or even over 1 trillion parameters. This is tiny in comparison. It uses a vision language model backbone called InternVL 3.5. That's the part that sees and understands the world. And it pairs that with a flow-matching action head, specifically a diffusion transformer, or DIT. Now, a diffusion transformer is a specific type of AI architecture that is phenomenally good at generating smooth, continuous data. So it acts as the perfect action head to generate these physical commands. The whole thing is incredibly lean and efficient.
To really grasp how this all builds together when the robot is actually operating in the real world, we can look at its structured attention mechanism. It basically splits the robot's brain into 2 distinct roles. I like to think of them as the architect and the builder. The latent actions act as the high-level planner, the architect. The architect looks at the live camera feed, listens to your verbal instruction, and then maps out the fluid, continuous rotational path in its mind. It's thinking about the big picture. Then it passes those complex plans down to the robot actions, the low-level controller, which we can call the builder. The builder doesn't care about the big picture. Its only job is to figure out exactly how much electrical voltage to send to the specific motors and joints in the robot's arm to make the architect's fluid plan a physical reality. This hard separation of high-level cognitive thinking and low-level motor skills is incredibly powerful, and it perfectly mimics how human brains work.
Let's move into part 4, translating humans to robots.
1,700. That is the exact number of hours of video data that the RotVLA model was trained on. And look, if you work in text AI, that might sound small, but in the world of physical robotics, collecting 1,700 hours of high-quality, continuous movement data is an absolutely massive, painstaking undertaking. That is a ton of real-world physical interaction. When we actually break that data down, we see something truly fascinating about the model's diet. 47% of the training data came from single-arm robots doing basic tasks. 31% came from much more complex dual-arm robots. And 17% came from incredibly intricate multi-fingered dexterous robot hands. But look closely at that last slice of the pie. 5% of the data was human videos, just human beings. Because RotVLA actually understands the underlying continuous physics of motion, rather than just blindly memorizing specific motor commands for a specific brand of robot, it can actually learn how to move simply by watching raw, unlabeled videos of human beings doing everyday chores. That is a total paradigm shift.
And this is where the breakthrough really, truly shines. Let me give you a specific example from the study. The researchers took a first-person video from a massive dataset called Ego 4D. It was literally just a video of a human moving their hand to the right. That's it. The RotVLA model watched that human, extracted the core continuous rotational math of what rightward motion actually is in 3D space, and flawlessly translated it into direct motor commands for a UR5 robot arm and also a completely different Tian-Kun robot. It had never seen these specific robotic actions before. It zero-shot transferred the conceptual physics of human motion directly into totally different robotic hardware. This cross-embodiment translation, learning from us and applying it to a machine, is a massive, historic milestone in robotics.
Finally, let's dive into Part 5, Real-World Robotic Success.
Okay, so let's look at the actual numbers, starting with the simulation benchmarks, Libero and RoboTwin. Now, these are absolutely brutal stress tests of a robot's ability to manipulate objects in complex environments. And as you can see, RotVLA absolutely crushes the competition. On the Libero benchmark, RotVLA hits an incredibly impressive 98.2% success rate, which edges out the XVLA model and completely destroys older models like OpenVLA, which was sitting way down at 76.5%. But you really need to look at the RoboTwin column. RoboTwin tests highly complex, dual-arm, bimanual tasks, stuff that requires two hands working together. RotVLA achieves an 89.6% success rate here, completely blowing past previous state-of-the-art models that were stuck in the low 70s. The math doesn't lie. This continuous rotation approach is provably significantly superior.
But hey, simulations are one thing, right? The real world is messy. The lighting changes, things slip, motors get warm. So the researchers deployed RotVLA out of the simulation and onto a physical ARX R5 robot platform. They ran standard single-arm tests, things like picking up a block and placing it precisely on a plate, or putting a block into a drawer and then closing it. RotVLA achieved well over a 90% success rate on those. But the ultimate real-world test was a long-horizon bimanual task, dual-arm cup stacking. The robot had to pick up a yellow cup, precisely put it into a red cup, then go grab a green cup and slot that into the yellow cup. This requires intense coordination. RotVLA drastically outperformed cutting-edge physical baselines, like the highly respected Pi 0.5 model. Why? Because that architect brain we talked about earlier was able to fluidly and seamlessly plan the entire long-horizon sequence without getting confused by the jerky stop-motion chunking that constantly trips up other physical robots.
So, taking a step back, what is the ultimate takeaway here? Simply put, the future of robotics isn't blocky. By bringing continuous, geometric math deeply into the core of AI, by finally letting the AI think and plan in smooth, rotational arcs rather than rigid, discrete, text-like words, we are unlocking a completely new era. We're aligning the digital mind with the physical universe. This is the key. This is exactly what is going to unlock the creation of generalist humanoid robots that can fluidly, safely, and adaptably operate in our messy, chaotic, real-world environments.
Honestly, looking at this data, it really makes you wonder. If an AI can learn to move perfectly just by watching a few hours of human video, what mundane, everyday task would you want a fluid-moving robot to take over in your own home? Let me know your thoughts on that. And hey, if you found this breakdown valuable, make sure to subscribe to The Explainer for more deep dives into the cutting-edge research that is literally shaping our future. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you next time.